Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Lisa's Picks, where I give you my reviews and my point of view about different esoteric books. This is episode 5, so you can always go back and look at the others or continue after this and look at the rest. So episode 5 is about chakra and crystal books. And I'm just going to show you a small selection of what I deem are my favorites that you should easily be able to get. Sometimes I do have to show you books that you have to dig a little bit for, like maybe look on Amazon or a book collector place for out-of-print books. I'm sorry about the background noise that you might hear tonight too, because we actually are having solar installed. So the Tesla roof panel guys are still on the roof, but I really needed to get started because got to get things done. All right, so chakra and crystal books. The first one I want to talk about is an oldie but a goodie, and I think it's probably had several incarnations. It probably has a different cover now. And it's called Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Crystal, Gem, and Metal Magic. So as the title would give it away, it's by Scott Cunningham. And when you look inside, it gives you whether the stone is receptive or projective. It gives planetary rulerships. It gives elements. And then it talks about the stone's powers and magical uses. It doesn't talk much about medicinal use, but this is kind of a pioneer book that has been around a long time. I'm going to look in the front and see what the copyright here. Cunningham's Encyclopedia. Oh gosh, well, he started publishing in 1983, and this was 1992. So there's no pictures really to speak of. In some of the newer editions, I think they do have some photos. This just has a few little photos in the center leaflet. But again, this is really about, you already know the stone that you have, you know its name, and you want to find more about its qualities, particularly maybe its planetary ruler for magical uses. And then if you were into medicinal astrology, you could use the planetary rulership to understand parts of the body and medicinal purposes, holistic medicinal purposes. Now, that was the book I started out with, along with Love is in the Earth, A Kaleidoscope of Crystals by Melody. And I'm going to shout out about that book, Love is in the Earth, A Kaleidoscope of Crystals by Melody. But I don't have it here because it's very frustrating to crystal collectors. It lists, I think, about 700 crystals, but only maybe 200 of them are actually obtainable. And people used to come in and say, I want this crystal, and be like, well, there's one of those at the Smithsonian Institute. You can go visit it, So it's really fun that she has all of those crystals listed, but it's also kind of frustrating because, it's unobtainite or whatever. You just can't get it. So she is a cool author, Melody, and she's done a couple of other books that are probably available at these archived book places or Amazon about laying on of stones and things like that. So she, again, was a pioneer in this venue, and I think she does have some value to what she was saying. And what we want to understand is people figured out what the crystals do by meditating with them and asking them, or looking at what they did and reactions that people had, just like people figured out what the herbs do, right? You didn't just understand what an herb did. You looked at how it grew and what color flowers it had, or if it even had flowers at all, and what the leaves looked like. Were they spiky? Were they flat? Were they, So again, we learn by looking. We look at the crystal. What color is it? What chakra could it go with? What does it make you feel? Is it calming and soothing or energizing and charging? So this is a very subjective subject. And if your gut really tells you a crystal does a certain thing, then don't worry about what the book says, because the crystal's doing what it's supposed to do for you. But currently, I could not get on without this. The Crystal Handbook by Cassandra Eason. This book is phenomenal because it's by color. So you think, I don't know, I bought this stone and it's green, but I don't remember what it's called. And you can go to the green section and I'll be dipped. There's malachite. That's what it's called, malachite. So it's all coded on the edge by color. Now she also gives the color, its availability, commonly found, rare, okay, obscure. She tells you what it does for physical benefit, emotional benefit. She talks about its derivative, meaning like I have azurite open and it's a copper ore. So that's interesting because azurite, malachite, and chrysocolla and copper are all copper at a different time of being cooked. She tells you the chakra, throat chakra. She talks about linking correspondences for magic, the candle color or a fragrance or a practical use or its magical significance or its use in divination. So this is a really cool book because whatever language you speak, this helps you to translate. You know, if you want to do aromatherapy, oh, this stone is equal to clary sage. So this it's invaluable. I buy them by the case for the shop. We usually have, at least a dozen on hand. But whether you're starting out or you've been doing this for years, this book is just incredible. Like I said, you might buy a bunch of crystals one day and you might get home and want to spit its tag because they really love to have the tags on them. And you think, oh, what the heck is this? It's red. You can go right to the red section and be like, oh yeah, Hewlandite, that's right. So couldn't recommend this more. Now, the last book I have here is also by Cassandra Eason, Healing Crystals. This is like for mandalas and laying on of stones, and it's illustrated. It's just so beautiful. There's so many crystals in here, and it's valuable for being able to just get ideas of how to work the energy of the crystals and combine them with other things. Here's a little amethyst geode made onto an altar. It's very simple, but that would be so powerful to sit in front of and meditate with. And if you didn't have a big amethyst, you could always use just a small piece. But yeah, beautiful book, very well done, highly recommend it. And then as far as learning about chakras, there's a lot of books, Chakras for Beginners, but I'm going to say this is my favorite, Wheels of Life by Judith. It's fantastic. I reference it in my Chakra Crystal Energy Clinician workshop and certification. Sorry. Oh, something got me. And I talk about how she does like a little chakra quiz, because if you may not know where your issue is in your tissues, but the little chakra quiz would help you. So there's a lot of information in here, mudras, how to say different Sanskrit words, how to sound them out to chant, and it just really talks about each thing that goes with the chakra. It's called Wheels of Life. Again, it's a nice small book, and it's only 700 pages or some crazy thing in here. I think it's one of those deals where it's only 500 pages, but still. And there's a chapter on each chakra, and again, a ton of correspondences and a real understanding of what's happening there. So, my picks for chakras and crystals. This is truly the only chakra book you're going to need. Laying on of stones or getting ideas for almost like a feng shui with crystals, putting them around your house, making different figurations, mandalas, altars. Really good book. The absolute gotta have Chakra Crystal book. And the good old time Scott Cunningham Pioneer. All right, so that's all I got for you for chakras and crystals. If you do have a subject that you'd like me to pick some books for or review, just drop me a comment and let me know. And please do like, comment, and subscribe, and watch the whole series. It really does help our station. Thank you. Blessed be.